interface, program execution, input-output operation, file manipulation, communication, error detection, resource allocation, accounting, protection, and security. We discussed all these things in detail in the previous lecture, where all the services lie. So at base, we would be having hardware. Just a second, students. Yes, bolo. So today, what I will see at the base, we have hardware. Then above hardware, we have operating system, and some services are provided by the operating system. That now comes system calls. What are system calls? See, I gave you the definition that system calls has the responsibility of providing this services of operating system to the user program. So system calls comes in a between as an intermediator, that whatever your services are, it is going to provide it to the user program. Okay. अगर सिंपल लैंग्वेज में हमें बोलना है कि सिस्टम कॉल क्या होते हैं, तो सिस्टम कॉल्स क्या उसका काम ये है कि ये जो ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम की सर्विसेज है, जैसे कि प्रोग्राम एग्जीक्यूशन, इनपुट आउटपुट ऑपरेशन, फाइल सिस्टम, कम्युनिकेशन, रिसोर्स एलोकेशन, अकाउंटिंग, एरर डिटेक्शन, प्रोटेक्शन एंड सिक्योरिटी, ये सारी जो ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम की सर्विसेज है वो उसे प्रोवाइड करनी है यूजर प्रोग्राम। ठीक है, वो कैसे प्रोवाइड करेगा? यूजर इंटरफेस इटसेल्फ एक ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम सर्विसेज है। ठीक है, बेसिकली सिस्टम कॉल्स ये सारी सर्विसेज प्रोवाइड करता है एप्लीकेशन प्रोग्रामिंग इंटरफेस को, यूजर प्रोग्राम्स को या सिस्टम प्रोग्राम। तो उसका हम आज डिटेल में स्टडी करने वाले हैं। जैसे कि यहाँ पे हमने अभी 3 तरीके के इंटरफेसेस देखे, ग्राफिकल यूजर इंटरफेस, batch interface and command line interface. So now we are going to study today first about the user and operating system interface, how we communicate with the operating system. So we use graphical user interface, we use batch interface, we use command line interface. Okay, so these things we need to study about in detail. Highlighted points, the important points that you should remember, I have already written in the here in the PPT, it is already written, but detailed points you need to listen to me carefully. If ICSE students, most of the things, important points, it is written over here, but I'll speak more, okay, as it is a theoretical subject. If you want to catch it up with me, so, see, most of the operating systems include command line interpreter in the kernel. अभी तक तो कर्नल का डेफिनेशन बाय हार्ट याद रह जाना चाहिए। क्यों? What is kernel? Kernel is nothing but the heart of operating system. Okay. ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम्स के अंदर कमांड लाइन इंटरप्रेटर्स कहाँ पे होते हैं? दैट इज दे आर प्रेजेंट इन द कर्नल. ओके, other programs, other operating systems like Windows and Unix, वहाँ पे थोड़ा डिफरेंट है. वो लोग कमांड लाइन इंटरप्रेटर को या कमांड इंटरप्रेटर को एक स्पेशल प्रोग्राम की तरह कंसिडर करते हैं. So when the user logs into the system, this command line interpreter becomes active or its job is initiated. In Windows and Unix, that is a different thing. Okay. So in Linux, what you observe is that this command line interpreter is present in the kernel, but Windows and Unix operating system treat this command line interpreter as a special program. So whenever the user logs into the system, the job of command line interpreter is initiated, okay, or it becomes active. See, there are different on systems with multiple command interpreters to choose from. The interpreters are known as shell. So there are many flavors of command line interpreter, and they are known as shells. Few examples, if you would have heard, is the bourne shell, sea shell, born again shell, corn shell. Before studying this much detail in the command interpreter, this word shell comes into the picture, and you must be clear by now what is a shell. See, shells are nothing but they are just interpreters. Their job is to take commands from the user program, interpret in the language which should be understood by the hardware. So that is the job of shell. And there are many flavors of the shell available, depending on the type of the user, how to know how to use this particular shell. So in operating systems like Unix and Linux, you will find multiple or several flavors of this shell. Few examples are Bourne shell, C shell, Born again shell, Corn shells, and there are many others. There are third party and open source or free shells are also available in the market. So depending on the functionality that you want to, like invoke, you can use that kind of shell. That is interpreter. Depending on the functionality you want, you can use that particular kind of interpreter. The main function, now we come to the what is the task of this command line interpreter. See, the main function of this command line interpreter is to get and execute the next user specified command. Okay, so the main function of this command line interpreter is to get execute your particular command, the command given by the users. Okay, the examples of command, if I would like to give you, then it can be create, delete, list, print, copy, execute. So these are the examples of the command which can be executed using this command interpreter. Okay. See, the MS-DOS and Unix shell operate in the similar way. Okay. So the commands implemented in this particular two systems, I'll just give you example in this one. Okay. See, in Unix, everybody has, or in Linux, every one of us has done the program of removing a directory. Okay. So now what we used to write over here. Okay. See, there was a Unix command that we used to write, rm file.txt. Okay, so if I open my command prompt and I run it over here, see, I okay, test. Okay, now I write rm test. Okay, so now what happens when you write this particular command? Okay, see, your particular command will be searched in your operating system. Then this particular file, which will be having this function rm, will get loaded into the memory. This file is going to be executed with the parameter test. That means that we need to delete this file. Okay. So the command line interpreter itself contains the code to execute the command. So here, for example, we are deleting a file that may cause the command interpreter to jump to the section of its code that set up the parameters and make appropriate system call. So in this case, the number of commands that can be given determines the size of command interpreter. So here, what I'm trying to explain is this command interpreter itself would be having the section of code which will execute this particular command. So when you write over here mkdir test or rm test, this means that this command line interpreter, command interpreter will search for this particular command section of code where rm is written, the function rm is written. Okay, one next step what it takes is that it will load this particular file into memory, execute it with the parameter test. So here this in Windows it is rmdir. Okay. Okay. So this will get deleted. Okay, that is what is from my side in the command interpreter. See, go through the points in the PPT. If I have missed something, then you can tell me. So what here you can do as an OS programmer. So as a programmer, you can add new commands to the system easily by creating new files and with proper names. The command interpreter program, uh, like it can execute the new commands that you have added. Okay. So if any doubt in this particular command interpreter, then please let me know. This is a particular example of Bourne shell in Solaris 10. It looks like this. The Bourne shell command interpreter. Okay. The next one is very easy. The graphical user interface. See, for a graphical user interface, the best example is that if I want to copy the contents of one file to the another file, what you will do? You just Control C, Control V, right click, you select copy, then on the other file you go and paste it. Okay. So for graphical user interface, here what you can say that a user-friendly desktop is provided to you. On the desktop, you will be able to see the icons and you have a good grip of interaction with the desktop using this mouse, keyboard and monitor. Icons are there on which you double click and then you get the options what you need to do. Okay, it depends on the user that what a user wants to use, command interpreter or graphical user interface. Okay. See, everybody knows the history of how this graphical user interface came into the picture. Graphical user interface was first appeared in the research in 1970 at Xerox VARC research facility. Okay, so not it was not invented by Microsoft or Apple. Okay. However, this graphical interface become widespread and more popular with the advent of Apple Macintosh computers in 1980. Okay, so the user interface of Mac OS has undergone various changes, and after they have used this particular Aqua graphical user interface, okay, they became more and more popular. And then Windows first version came after this. Okay, so Microsoft first version 1.0, was based on the addition of graphical user interface to MS-DOS operating system. Windows has made cosmetic changes in the appearance of GUI along with several enhancements in its functionality. Okay, so something better came. Nowadays, what we have is this one. Okay, the touch screen interfaces where our hand gestures are used. So we interact with the operating system using our hand. Then first we used to interact with it using mouse and keyboard, and before that we were interacting it with the help of command interface. That is what we are doing. Nowadays we are interacting with the speech also with the operating system. Okay, So that is what I have to share on my part from this map or this graphical user interface. And now very important part comes, that is system calls. Okay. Now before going to this, choice of interface is also one thing that we need to discuss. For example, if I'm a system administrator or something network administrator, then I won't be using graphical interface very frequently, because whatever the command I need to write, okay, for my CMD, see, I can have the pin command over there. Okay. As a system administrator, I would be more comfortable with using this particular type of commands. Okay. I won't, as a network administrator, I'll also be preferring this particular way of interaction with the operating system. But if I'm a not and more knowledgeable person with the operating system, every day I just need to have word processing or document processing work. I'm not a programmer. Then I would prefer to use graphical user interface. So the choice of interface depends on how or what kind of user it is, and what is my requirement to use this particular system. Okay. Other thing is that if in the case of performance, if we consider that instead of, like if you want to open a file and then double click and this whole procedure, many prefer, if you want a performance and if you find that this task, repeated task, if you are doing repeated task, then command line interface is much better than graphical user interface. For control C, control V, we have to every time go for a double click, control C, control V. But the same thing can be done with a simple arrow in the command interface. For the repeated task, it is better to use the command interface rather than graphical user interface. So in case of performance, it also depends on which kind of interface we are using. So many of times when we were running Java programs and all, we were using command interpreter rather than going for the other options. Okay. Now we come to the system calls. Now we actually get into the definition, and I will ask any one of you to answer me with the definition. This system call provides you an interface to the services made available by the operating system. Okay, so it provides the interface to the services that is provided by the operating system. So whatever the service is provided by the operating system, it is the responsibility of system calls to make it available for the user programs. Okay, who would like to tell me the definition? ऑन माई स्क्रीन यहाँ पे जिसका नाम आया वो डेफिनेशन बोलेंगे, ये कौन है? 19 DIT 023 ध्रुव जोशी, आप डेफिनेशन बोलो. ध्रुव, कम ऑन आंसर मी.
हेलो, यस मैम.
हाँ, व्हाट आर सिस्टम कॉल्स?
ओ मैम, मैं अभी भी पानी पीने गया था तो मैं अभी आया. सॉरी मैम.
चलो हम किसी और का बहाना ढूंढते हैं. CSC में से 138 ईशा, आई गेस आप लोगों को तो सिस्टम कॉल्स चल चुके हैं ना, CSC स्टूडेंट्स. सौम्या,
यस मैम.
सिस्टम कॉल्स चल चुके ना, बताओ डेफिनेशन क्या होती है. आप वाइवा में सपोज आपको पूछे कि सिस्टम कॉल्स क्या होगा, आप लोग क्या आंसर करोगे? तो वाइवा में आपको डेफिनेशन ही पूछने वाले, और ये भी आपको पता ही है कि 15 मार्क्स के वाइवा होते हैं और 10 मार्क्स का आपका प्रैक्टिकल एग्जाम रहता है जिसमें आप प्रैक्टिकल रन करते हो. ठीक है, तो 15 मार्क्स आपके किसके बेसिस पे जज होते हैं? हाउ विल यू अर्न दिस 15 मार्क्स इफ यू आर नॉट गिविंग द बेसिक डेफिनेशन? Okay, so this you just be ready, because like Now you need to get serious about your studies. Okay. So this calls are generally available as routines written in C and C++. Although some system calls are written in the assembly language. Okay. So most of the system calls are written in this higher level languages like C, C++, and few which has more interaction with the hardware. So those instructions are written in assembly language, where hardware must be accessed directly. Those system calls are written in assembly language. So most of the system calls, by now we are aware that it is written in the programming language C and C++, where you don't need to access the hardware directly. But other system calls, they are written in the assembly level language because there is a direct need to access your hardware. And those particular system calls must be written in the assembly level language or assembly language. So before we discuss that how this operating system makes system calls available to the user, we must discuss why and when the system calls are used. Okay, so for example, you have a simple program to read data from one file and copy to another. Okay, that is a very simple task that we need to do. Now, how many system calls are involved in this particular task that we need to copy the contents of one file to another file. See, everything is depicted in the diagram what I was speaking. So you can catch up that what if we are writing this particular small task needs to be done, small program is to be written that copy the contents of one file to another file, then what are the system calls that are made? That is given over here. So we get to get an idea that how the system calls are used. What is the application of this system? So for the first thing, what we do over here is that we write a program. Okay. And in this program, we will be asking the user for 2 names. Just a second, students. Yes. Okay, students, I'll start where I have left. Okay. See. So here I'm starting with this particular thing, system calls. Okay. So we were at that we were writing a program that will ask us to like the task of the program is to copy the contents of one file to the another file. So the first thing here we will do that we will ask for the names, okay, the input file and the output file names. Now it depends on the operating system design or on the user that how and what kind of naming convention should be present, okay. So I'm discussing now the whole procedure, okay. So see, on a mouse-based, icon-based system, a menu of files name is usually displayed in a window. The user can then use a mouse to select the source name, and a window can be opened for the destination name to be specified. This sequence requires I/O system calls. So input-output system calls are required whenever you are having some kind of naming needs to be done to one file. Okay. So once the two file names have been obtained, the program must open the input file and create the output file. Each of this operation requires another system call. Okay. So to create also we require a system. So for everything over here, see first of all, for the acquiring input file name, we would require one system call. Then for the writing something to prompt on the screen that enter file name, okay, we would require the another system. For accepting the input, we will require the system call. Okay, so for acquiring the output file name, we would be requiring system for each and every one. Then to create, open the input file and create the output file, both system calls will be required. Okay. So when both the files are set up, this input and output files are set up, we enter a loop. So we enter a loop from the its input file. So again a system call, okay, that will read the particular input file and writes to the output file. So this read from input file is a system call. This write from the output file is another system call. So each read and write must return status information regarding various possible error conditions. Okay. So on input, the program may find that the end of file has been reached or there as can be another hardware failure in the read, okay, something kind of parity error. The write operation may encounter various errors depending on the output part. So for handling out this all kind of errors, also there is a system call. So finally, after all this, the entire file is copied. The program is required to close both the files. So for closing both the files also there is a system. And write a message on the window that your file is completed. So that is one system call. And finally terminate the files normally. Finally terminate this program normally. That is another system. So this many like system calls are being made only to copy the contents of one file to another. So acquiring the file name, asking you for input, okay, accepting your input, same for the input and output file, then open the input file if it does not exist. See, whenever we want to copy, so we open the input file, but if input file is also not present, then we have to abort it. Then there is an output file. So output file if exists, then it is okay. If doesn't exist, then procedure needs to be terminated at that moment. If it is exist and the contents are already present, then it should ask for the replacing the contents of the file. So that is also a system called entering in the loop. Then writing input file, output file, reading from input file, output file, another system calls. So here you can see the summary of system calls that are just needed for us to write simply or copy the contents of one file to another file. Okay. See, here what is that? The simple programs, whatever we are having, okay, this all programs use application programming interface for calling out all the system. Okay, somebody's mic is still open. Please, will you please turn off your mic, Nishal? Nishal, please turn off your mic. Okay. So typically, application developers, okay, design programs according to the application programming interface. The application programming interface specifies a set of functions that are available to application programmer, including the parameters that are passed to each function, the return values to the programmers can accept. Three of the most common APIs to the application programmer are the Windows API for the Windows system, POSIX API for POSIX-based system, which is also included in Unix, Linux, and Mac OS, and the Java API for the programs that run on Java virtual machine. Okay, so this is an example of standard API. Okay, so if we want to read some contents of file, then in C already the library is available to us. We are just making a function or a system call over here to read it. Okay, so behind the scenes the function makes behind the scenes the function that makes up an API typically invokes the actual system call on behalf of application program. Okay, for example, the Windows function create process will actually create a process. Okay, and it's actually invoke NT create process system call in Windows kernel. So here this particular read function will make a call to the actual system call that is present in your Windows kernel. That is what here it is trying to be explained to you. Okay. So whatever application programming interface is given to you, for example, you have Java, you have this APIs from the C, C++, whatever it is, okay? You just make a function call over here. You pass on the parameters. This function call in turn calls the basic system call that is present in the kernel and get your work executed. See, now there is one question that needs to be addressed. Why would an application programmer prefer programming according to an API rather than making actual system call? So why instead of calling see where were I? Okay. So we were at the question that why would an application programmer will prefer API call instead of making a direct call to the system, making a direct system call? Why would you not make a direct system call instead of calling it with the help of API? Okay. So there are several reasons for doing so. One benefit concerns program portability. Okay. So when we use Java API, we get the program portability. We write the program for each operating system. We can run it that program in the Windows operating system. We can run it that program in the this, what we can say that Unix or Linux operating system. Okay. Then what happens that an application programmer designing a programmer using an API can expect his or her program to compile and run on any system that the API can be run. See, furthermore, actual system calls can often be more detailed and difficult to work with than the API available to the application programmer. Nevertheless, there often exists a strong correlation between a function in API and its associated system call within the kernel. So, whatever I want to conclude over here is that portability is one of the main reasons that we prefer to write it in the API rather than we prefer to write it with the system call. So as a programmer, I would be knowing how to make a system call. We have already seen that particular thing in the practical session, that we were making system calls for creating the process, then waiting, executing the process. But the thing is that with the API, we get the portability. So in the practical, when I was showing you that thing, I was writing the code in the C programming language, but I was not able to run it that thing into the, like if I want to have it run in the different operating system, which would not support that programming language, which would not be having the interpreter for it, then the portability would not be possible. I have to specifically install the compilers, interpreters for that programming language. So that is one question over here, okay? The time is not permitting me to discuss more about this, but for now we will keep until this, and then for the next lecture I will discuss with you the system call implementation, okay? So for the next lecture we will discuss this system call implementation, and there is only one topic left after that, this types of system call. And for this week we will be concluding this chapter number 2 also, okay? Any doubts until now, students? Anyone? Roll number 124 and roll number 89, you were not questioning me today. Yes, sir. Terminating the lecture, students.
हेलो मैम।
Yes.
मैम कोई विजुअल मतलब वीडियो प्रेजेंटेशन જેવું કંઈ થઈ શકતા સર?
किसने वीडियो प्रेजेंटेशन?
खाली આ થિયરી થી તો નથી ખબર પડતી.
See, इसमें videos तो नहीं. You need to concentrate, Rushabh, when I am speaking. If this in class it is a total different scenario. And wherever you are not getting things, you have to be proactive and ask me the questions. I am not getting the things. Otherwise, I'll give you one option. You come to the college, you sit with me in the lab, and then we will discuss it in some different way. This particular thing.
બટ કોઈ પીપીટી માં GIF કે કોઈ વિડિયો એડ કરીને
There are many videos available for this particular subject. You can go for NPTEL course also. You can go for the YouTube videos also for this one. But this is a theoretical subject. You need to read over here. This won't get you past if you won't read. For understanding of this particular subject, a book reading is must. Not every time you just get to read a PPT or watch a video and you understand everything. This is not possible. For preparing this subject, I strongly recommend to all students that Galvin ની book છે ને, Peter B. Galvin, એ આખી તમને આવડવી જોઈએ. And there is only your chance of you clearing gate with this. because OS is also an important part in GATE. And if you just not go to read line by line, and if you just don't practice what is given in this book and in the same manner which is given in the book, ऑनलाइन वीडियोस हैं, रेफर करो, मैं बोलती हूँ गेट में आंसर्स डिफर करते हैं बहुत सारी जगह. So this book is what I refer to. अगर मेरे पास ऐसा कोई इंटरैक्टिव वीडियो आया तो ओके, बट एट द एंड यू हैव टू रीड द बुक. That is what I say. This is the core subject, not a one which is introduced in recent time. For algorithms, it is fine, but for theory, बहुत जब से कंप्यूटर साइंस है ये सब्जेक्ट है, वैसे ही इसको पढ़ना. If I will get anything, I'll definitely give it. Anything else, students? Okay, I'm terminating the meeting.